In this video, I will demonstrate how to implement some basic editing techniques, which will help give your small business video that professional look. The first technique I will demonstrate, and can be used in all your small business videos, is the J&L cut. J&L cuts can also be called Audio Advance, J cut, or Video Advance, L cut, which is actually a much easier way of thinking of it. An Audio Advance cut is where you can hear the audio before you see the accompanying video, and a Video Advance cut is the opposite. By introducing these cuts, not only will you keep your video interesting to the viewer, but it is also a great way of promoting your products. Here's a brief example of a J cut and an L cut.
My background is mainly in business and marketing, and I worked for a large design company for about 10 years, and one of the main areas that I worked in was events. That was the one thing I loved. But when I finished with that job, I always wanted to pursue floristry, so I set up a floristry business.
In trakAxBusiness, creating J&L cuts couldn't be easier, and there are various ways you can implement them. You can simply adjust the start point of your video using your cursor and the adjust length indicator until you reach the point which will make for a natural transition. You can even just drop the second video clip on top of the original video clip. Although be careful, if they have different frame dimensions that you can't see any overlapping. Another quick way is to use the split segment tool, so you can remove the video you want to replace. Once you understand and implement these cuts, you'll notice immediately the production benefits and professional quality they bring to your video. Next we have the track cutter. The track cutter is a very useful tool for editing and creating exact cuts of your video footage. In the track cutter, you can preview the video file as well as make edits to it. For example, you can highlight and cut out a section of the file which you would like to use. You are also able to cut out either the audio or video section separately. To make a selection, that is, cut a sample, simply hold down the Shift key on your keyboard while holding down the left mouse button and drag to open a selection box. You can now copy and paste the box into the mixing window. This tool will help you when making exact cuts and will speed up the production process. Some other nice features in the track cutter include speeding up or slowing down video footage, controlling the volume, resizing the image, and more. To learn more about the track cutter, please view the track cutter video in the tutorials. The next item is a simple tip that will help give your video a clean look. Video transitions play an important role in video production. However, misuse of them can lead to a cluttered or disheveled video. Our tip is not to overdo the use of transitions. We would recommend only using 1 or 2 per video. For example, in our bridal lounge video, we only used a fade transition between scenes, which kept a common flow throughout the video, and a slide effect when introducing text. You may also wish to use straight cuts without any transitions, which are very useful for quick edits and can be used to highlight a busy scene like a restaurant or shop. With trakAxBusiness, you can automatically crossfade video by simply placing your video on top of another piece of video. To change the shape of the fade type envelopes applied to a crossfaded area, right-click within the fade area and select Fade Type. Once you choose a different fade type, you will notice the shape of the fade envelopes will change. Text plays an important role, as nearly all business videos will at some point need to include text. For example, you may want to include credits at the start and end of your video to highlight your company name and location. If it is an interview style video, you may also wish to include the names of the people being interviewed or any products being displayed. In the mixing window, you are able to insert text and video credits into your mix. To add a simple text box, you can either right-click in the track name or mixing window and roll over Insert and click Video Credits from the drop-down menu. Controlling volumes is another important feature in video production. In your small business video, you may wish to include a narration, a soundtrack, as well as other sounds, so it is important you find the right balance between them.
My name is Aoife Callahan and I have been a makeup artist for the past 10 years.
You can control and edit the volume of a track or segment in a few ways. You can do this using a volume envelope, the segment properties, the volume level in the track sidebar, and also in the track cutter. Volume envelopes allow you to control and manipulate the volume of a segment at any point in the timeline. This is a very powerful facility and allows you to have full control over your audio tracks. Segment snapping facilitates the precise placement of segments in the mixing window and allows you to create your mix with the minimal amount of effort. When a video or audio segment is being moved or resized, some resistance to the movement of the segment will be experienced as the segment approaches the start or end position of an adjacent segment. As the segment approaches an adjacent segment's extremity, a blue icon will be displayed on the moving segment to accurately show the contact placement position. If the mouse is released at the point of resistance, when the blue icon is displayed, the moving segment will snap to the placement position indicated by the blue icon. This allows you to be confident that all your segments are aligned perfectly and will play without any gaps. Another great feature with editing your mix is the grouping tool. Grouping allows you to combine multiple segments and/or effects into a single unit for the purpose of copying, moving, deleting, locking and unlocking. Once your segments are in the group, they will always behave like one single segment. This is very helpful if you're working on a section and need to group and move other segments to make space without losing any of their relative positions. You are also able to lock segments in place in the mixing window, so they cannot be moved, sized or split. To do this, right-click on the segment and from the drop-down menu, select Lock. This is very helpful if you are happy with a completed section and do not wish it to be moved in any way. When creating your video, it is more than likely you'll include a voiceover narration, either promoting your company or products, recording an interview, or both. However, depending on the type of microphone you use and your surroundings, you may notice some static or white noise on your recordings. To limit the amount of noise heard, you can use the Blue Cat EEQ audio effect to filter some of this noise. This effect includes 3 filters which are linked together so that when you change the center frequency or the bandwidth, the parameters of the 3 filters are modified accordingly. You can control the entire equalizer characteristics with a single mouse click. Before you begin creating your video mix, we would highly recommend selecting your frame size for your video from the Target Frame Size drop-down menu. The target frame size represents the width and height in pixels of your video mix when it is finally exported. The target frame size can be changed at any time before the mix is exported. Ideally, the decision on the preferred target frame size should be made before commencing the mix, as this decision will influence how the final result will look on the targeted plane platform. For your small business video, we suggest using the frame size YouTube HD, as this will be exported and uploaded in the best possible quality available. In the mixing window, You can also export video files to a file format of your choice. If you wish to export your mix, simply click on the Export button. Again, we'd recommend exporting your file to YouTube HD, which can be selected from the frame size drop-down menu in the Save Media to dialog box. Once selected, all the audio and video codecs will be set, and again your file will be exported in the highest quality available.